the way Faker keeps his distance. We actually don't have time for that because Faker's going for more. Behind the turret, they go in. It's a 1-2 kick punch.
Trying to defend them in the face. Hakimi's trying to take the Nexus down. Is anyone going to be able to deal with this one? Catches him with another axe. He's very low.
Electronic sports, widely known as eSports, has been growing over the last decade. Nowadays, millions of people tune into popular streaming websites such as Twitch and Cesar to watch their favorite professional gamers play their favorite games.
The streaming website reached up to 32 millions of viewers from all over the world during tournaments. Some of those people even pay to attend those events to support their favorite teams, like last October when the League of Legends Season 3 World Championship was taking place in LA at the Staples Center.
To put that into context, the year before they only had about 8.2 million viewers, and the most recent Super Bowl only attracted 3 million. Even with all these overwhelming numbers as proof, many still doubt the legitimacy of esports and those associated with them.
Many are unaware of the difficulties that come with becoming a professional gamer. They assume said professional is lazy and lack any real beneficial skills.
But being a professional gamer isn't easy, and many had to overcome several obstacles to achieve their goal, as Peter Double Lift Pang explains in the following interview.
I haven't verbally spoke to my parents, no, for 2 years. I would always struggle with my parents. I was probably like 10 or 11, and we would just argue about everything, especially games. Like when I wanted to play, they thought it was just a complete waste of time. So even when I was a competitive gamer, I kind of hid it from my family. And the first time I broke out, came out of the closet with my pro gaming thing was like DreamHack, Season 1 championships. I qualified. And I finally had to tell my parents, like, oh, like, I'm actually being, like, a competitive player now, and I want to go to this tournament and try to win money, and they wouldn't let me go, even after I gave them, like, oh, it's Riot Games, like, they have a website, they're legitimate, you know, there's this news post about it, all this stuff, and they just wouldn't believe me. They're like, you're going to die if you go to Sweden for DreamHack. And I finally got my older brother. I begged him to try to help convince my parents that it was okay, and he helped me out. I came home and they're pretty happy, you know, but they weren't proud or anything. They're just like, oh, you made some money, that's cool. Hopefully this doesn't happen too much, you know. So I don't want you to miss too much school or lose track of what you want to do. They wanted me to go to college. They wanted me to do what they do. I mean, like, I have to all in on being a pro gamer. If I leave home and I have no degree from a college, like, I have to be a pro gamer to sustain myself unless I want to go to McDonald's, you know. So yeah, I had to be a pro gamer, and I did. And at the end of the month, Liquid finally paid me, and I was like, this is the real deal. Like, I'm actually getting money for being a pro gamer and having all this insight in the game. I was just super happy, and I could finally pay rent that month.
Shot, won't quite kill Cutie Pie. There's Ezra coming in, double lift, nice job there, tunnel comes up. And now
while I was on Chris, I had really good tournament performances, and people noticed me, and then I finally got on CLG, and as soon as I got on CLG, the money is just like it's just, I'm so like overwhelmed by the success, you know.
Thanks to this interview, we can safely state that becoming a professional player is a difficult task.
Professionals such as Peter have actually become quite successful and tend to make around $85,000 to $100,000 a year, and can increase with time depending on the number of competitions they participate in and the sponsors they acquired.
Some of this money also comes viewers who pay to attend live events, or we decided to donate. After watching this, we decided to get personal opinions on esports from student and campus.
Now here are some of the questions we asked them, along with their replies.
Do you know what is esports?
Yeah. Esports is sort of competitive gameplay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was wondering, what do you think about esports?
I think it is amazing. I think it's a very sensible evolution of the way sports are played. And I think it even hurts it to distinguish between esports and regular sports, because I very much want it to be included in the domain of sports.
Okay.
I think it's really exciting that it's starting to gain more popularity. And it's starting to become a bigger thing that more and more people are hearing about.
Mhm.
So I think that's really exciting.
And about esports competing with traditional sports, what do you think about that?
I think it definitely fits. There's lots of things that people are calling sports that even sports people don't think should be sports. So there's like curling, and now we've got competitive gaming fitting in. And I think they're all sports, and then they challenge different areas of mental and physical capabilities.
Well, I definitely think it takes a lot of strategy, as like a real sport might take. It's not very physical, so it depends on how you define a sport.
Okay, I will say, what about the number of people watching it and willing to pay for it?
That's a good point. I feel like video games have a lot wider, or just as wide as real sports, as soccer. Yeah, so they get viewed a lot, and so I feel that they're up to par with, or even better, higher up than real sports.
Would you be surprised that if one day you see at the TV esports being casted?
I don't think I will be surprised, because our generation who grew up with video games will want to watch that on the television, and I will be surprised when they're in the Olympics, but that's still far off.
Do you think somewhere along the line we'll eventually see them broadcast on television, or do you think they'll stay in the internet niche that they currently are in?
I hear. I mean, in Korea there are channels already devoted to esports, but I don't suspect it'll get as big on television in America. I feel like television would just die out before that happens. I mean, television doesn't seem to be like that much of a growing market compared to like internet streaming, broadcasting stuff. I mean, the internet's kind of the esports home. At least that's my impression.
Okay. Also, one last thing is, would you be willing to pay a ticket which is worth between $50 and $100 to go watch a game and one day maybe the championship or something?
It depends on the game, but I feel like I'd put it up if